So welcome to the Flippin' Ain't Easy channel. Wanted to show you my house here in just a few minutes, but also wanted to kind of talk to you about a pet peeve I have with the best offer and a couple other updates from a couple previous videos I made. So without any further ado, let's go. This is where we moved to, and so when you first walk in, you have our office. That's my setup. There's my wife's setup over there, and you got some poly bags, poly mailers, nice little speaker to listen to some music while you're working. And this little cubby hole room is all for storage. As you can see, got a lot of empty shelves that I have to fill up. Still got a lot of stuff in the garage. But yeah, this is what we have. This is the walk-in of my house. The rest of my house, of course, is not dedicated to eBay. I have another family room and a kitchen, and upstairs, it's an upstairs house. So yeah, that's my setup. So hopefully you enjoyed that little sneak preview of my new home and the way I have my office set up. I have one side of the room. My wife has the other side of the front entryway room, and then we have a little area where you can come in and place the items that have been listed. Love the setup, and of course the other part of my house isn't at all eBay. It's, you know, I have another family room, I have my kitchen, and then everything upstairs is you know, not eBay. So that's a good thing. And so a lot better than my last house where you had to go up and down the stairs, get to the garage to get the stuff to sell, and then, you know, bring it all the way up the stairs, and it was just a pain. It was really a pain. And I'm just too old for this, to be honest with you. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. But before I continue, I want to ask you guys a favor. Please consider hitting that like button, because it tells YouTube that this content is good content and other people will get a chance to see the videos that I'm putting out there. We're about 550 subscribers, so thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. If you sell on eBay, my channel is dedicated to all topics eBay, and certainly in all the videos I put together, I'm sure you're going to glean some useful information that you can use in your business. So let me go ahead and jump forward to the rant that I have about best offer. So, you know, in trying to find creative ways to sell some of the stuff that I have been listing, which is pretty much so far the last month has been my death pile. And by the way, my death pile is a lot more than I thought it was. When you move, you really have a good sense of what your death pile looks like. And my entire right-hand corner of my garage is just piled high. And there's some good stuff in there. It's just that I just never got to it before buying the new pallets. You know, I kept buying new pallets, and before you know it, you have a death pile. And so I was trying to find creative ways to move some of this stuff, and was looking at best offer. I used to do best offer on my items, but I really don't recall why I stopped doing them or adding them to my new listings. And so I decided to add them to all my listings. So I went through, and before I moved, like a week and a half ago, I went through and I added these best offer items to all my listings. And so I get a couple best offers, pretty decent offers. I accept them, and all is good. And about the third offer I received was on a $20, I think I just lowered it from $24.99 to $19.99. It was a toner cartridge, an off-brand toner cartridge for a laser printer. And I get a $10 best offer for that from a customer. And so I replied back to them that between the shipping, between the eBay fees, and the cost of the item, I couldn't sell them this toner cartridge for $10. I might have just throw it in the trash. I didn't tell them that, but I mean, really, there's no purpose of even selling the item if you're not going to make some kind of profit off of it. So what I told them was, I can go as low as $16, okay, but due to those costs, I can't go down to $10, and $16 is the best I can do. And so within 5 minutes of sending that counteroffer, I get a counteroffer back my way for $12. Guys, this is eBay. It's not Poshmark. Okay, so if you're one of those buyers, please, if a seller comes to you and tells you, look, the best I can do is say $16, and I tell you why, chances are I mean it, okay? If I just come back with a random offer of 16, okay, fine. But if I include a note telling you, here's my best deal and here's why, that's probably gonna mean what I mean. So if you send me back an offer of $12 like this person did, well, I'm probably gonna do this. And what I did was I replied back, $16 is my counter offer to them. And I stated, I really can't go any lower than this. If you don't wanna buy it, that's certainly acceptable. However, because of the costs involved that I mentioned in my last reply, that I can't go any lower, I'm sorry. And if you want this item, I will send it out first thing tomorrow, but $16 is the lowest I can go. And within 10 minutes later, they bought the item for $16. And so it happened to me again a couple days later. And it's like, you know, I don't know if I understand, they're trying to get the best deal that they can, I get it, right? But I always include a message with my counteroffer explaining my position. I think it's frustrating, just you have to haggle. And there's a reason I don't sell on Mercari, because of things like that. We sell clothing on Poshmark. It's my wife's thing, she likes to do it. But really, Poshmark is more designed for that. With eBay, you only get 4 attempts to make an offer. And after that, it blocks you out. So it turns me off as a seller to even offer best offer because of that whole deal where you have to haggle. And I just don't think buyers get that us sellers, we have a cost involved in this transaction and we just can't give it away. And it's almost disrespectful. You know, you make an offer on someone's merchandise and you basically half off. Well, that's not realistic, especially if I'm offering you free shipping. No, it's not happening. So that's my pet peeve with best offer. I plan on keeping it. It's just going to annoy me, that's all. And so I thought I'd share that with you. If you have any best offer experiences, please leave that comment below. If you have any questions about it, I'll also be glad to answer any questions you have about best offer. But it's just one more way to try to move your merchandise. And as annoying as it can be, it's definitely something I will use going forward, regardless of that pet peeve. So I wanted to give you guys an update. You remember my scammer who bought that $1,200 switch. I made a video about this about a month and a half ago, and you can check the video here if you'd like. But really, it's just an update about what happened recently. I thought it was over with. You know, they did a chargeback on this back in January, and it was a Sysco switch or a server that I sold them, and they claimed it was all banged up, beat up, smelled like it was burnt up, like I had sent them just a trashed server. Yet I never received anything from them or a message stating, hey, there's a problem with the item. They waited 2 months before they even bothered to file a claim through their credit card company. And I won the claim because I was very thorough. I sent all the information, and my story made more sense than theirs. I'm pretty convinced of that. So fast forward to this last Thursday, and it just happened to be one of the days I was moving my stuff from one house to the other, so didn't have a real opportunity. I really still haven't messed with it, but I received a letter from discount warrior, discount period warrior. And if you haven't blocked them yet, I definitely suggest that you do, because they have over 5,000 transactions and 5,000 positive feedback. But if they're willing to do this to me and try to scam me out of a $1,200 item, chances are they're going to be willing to do it to you if they happen to buy one of your items. So instead of having to deal with that headache, take it from me, you definitely want to block them from buying your items in the future. On Thursday, I received this message that popped up in my messages from eBay. And the message states, it's from Discount Warrior. It says, "Hello, in October 2019, we as Discount Warrior bought following item from you." And it goes on to say the item. The item was faulty, but you did not reply about the damage. Now, that's not true. I never received a message from them at all. This is the first message I've ever received from them, outside of the message that came from their credit card company stating that there was a chargeback. So this is a lie to just start off the message. We sent the catalyst to a Sysco certified center, and it turns out that the Sysco switch is fake. Sysco will dispose the fake and replace it with an original Sysco catalyst if we forward the contact details of the seller. You can check the information about the counterfeit Sysco switches under this link, and let us know if you prefer to make a full refund or continue the discussion with Sysco. Thank you. When I replied, I stated to them that they never have contacted me before. This is the first time they've contacted me. And that before they had contacted me to let me know that the item was damaged and burnt up. Now they're trying to state that the item is a counterfeit. I said, which one is it? Which one is it? You can't have both. It's not one of those things where it's damaged and it doesn't work, and now it happens to be okay, but it's a counterfeit. It just doesn't work that way, okay? And so I stated to them, you try to do a chargeback unsuccessfully and case is closed. I said, do what you need to do. I said, however, if you decide to contact me again, I will contact eBay and I will contact Sysco to let them know that you tried to scam me and you are now doing the same thing to them. And I sent that off, and maybe 15 minutes later I check my messages and I get the same exact message from a buyer called net.buy. And so it's net.buy. And it's another buyer's account, and they decided that they were going to send the same message. And I don't think that's allowed on eBay. I think as a buyer, you can't have another eBay buyer send a message about a transaction that they weren't involved in. So while I didn't get a chance to really mess with it because of my move, I do plan on following up on this and contacting eBay and letting them know that this is harassment. And I would also recommend you blocking net.buy if you want to avoid any headaches. Now, I don't know what other accounts that they have, so I really can't block any unknown accounts. And I hope this doesn't cause them to, decide to use a phony account, maybe buy an item of mine and leave a negative feedback. But, we'll see. Nothing I can do about that, but definitely I can report them to eBay because I think that they are not allowed to do something like this. What are your thoughts on that? What would you do in my situation? I'm planning on doing something about it tomorrow, but I would love to hear your feedback to see maybe I'm going down the wrong road by contacting eBay. So how would you handle it? Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about another issue that I've been dealing with. About a couple months ago, I have another video right here. And in that video, it's my direct liquidation pallet that I bought. And if you watch the video, you notice that the three items that, most expensive items that I was supposed to receive, they were 3 computer CPUs valued at $750 a piece. I never got them. And so I filed a claim through direct liquidation, and they came back to me and stated that they were going to give me a credit for, I think it was like $350. I wasn't quite happy with that, but you know what? I'm not going to kill a relationship off where, I was buying some product from them. I'm not going to do that over $350, even if we're a couple $100 off. So I was willing to accept that, but then I got a message from their accounting department stating that, and this is like 2 weeks after waiting for the refund. It's like, where's the refund? And so they finally send me something stating that, well, we can't refund you because you owe us money for a pallet you bought from us back in May of 2019. So it caused me to do some digging, and I bought a pallet back in 2019 from them, May of 2019, and it was a bunch of speakers. Your JBL, Flip 4 speakers and Bluetooth speakers like that, but almost every one of them were damaged. It was almost like these speakers were used in the autonomous zone in Seattle. And they came back to me just banged up. Not one worked. So I contacted them and stated, hey, this is not as described and there's an issue here. And so they finally agreed to refund my money, provided I return the pallet to them. They paid for the label and they sent the truck out to pick it up. I rewrapped the pallet and, I moved on. And I didn't expect a refund right away, but I never got one. Honestly, I never got one. So, it's kind of crazy how I would let that kind of just fall through the cracks. But we're talking about a $1,200 transaction that I've never done anything with, and neither have they. They've received the items back and they never refunded my money. But yet I think what they did was, I think they tried to charge me for the freight of the return label for that shipment. So that's why they're not processing this refund, because they're trying to take this money and apply it towards that shipping, which is absolutely wrong. And so what I did was I filed a chargeback through my credit card company for this recent pallet that you saw me unbox. And they wiped the entire charge off. Now, in my letter to them, I only stated that my calculation was about $450 or something like that. But we'll see what happens with that. But I also went back in and I filed a chargeback for my transaction back in May of 2019 with Capital One. The strange thing is they have not done anything with that. They sent me the email and I sent them the documentation over about 2 weeks ago, but I haven't heard a thing from them. And usually they take the money off right away during the investigation. So I need to call them. I need to follow up with them tomorrow. This is after I call eBay about that other guy. And we'll see. And I'll keep you updated as to how that works out. But my thing is this. In all fairness, their product has gone downhill. They cherry pick through their items, their customer return items, and basically sell you a lot of off-brand stuff, like, we're talking Walmart brand items, and your name brand stuff, you might find some in there, but the really good stuff, they're cherry picking. I don't know what they do with them. They have another account somewhere. If, they're getting more money for those items. But I have a strong suspicion that if you order a pallet and it has some pretty good items in it, there's a chance you're not going to get all of them. So just kind of take my advice of someone who's bought 21 pallets now, 20 too many to be honest with you, but bought 21 pallets and I have about 5 or 6 that have had missing or banged up or broken items. I'm just done. And honestly, I don't want you to fall into that same trap. It's not a vindictive thing that I'm doing right now. I'm trying to warn you guys and protect you guys from a bad transaction. And I've learned my lesson, but also I have the power of a credit card behind me as a consumer. And I'm going to follow every step I can to recoup as much money as I can, because I'm tired of being ripped off, and you should be too. Avoid doing transactions for merchandise through direct liquidation at all costs. Okay, I'm going to move on. Liquidation.com has been very good to me, and I know that there are other people out there who sell pallets that are honest and will describe their merchandise a little bit more accurately and honestly than this company. So if you decide to continue doing business with them, do it at your own peril, because I've learned my lesson, and I hope you don't learn the lessons that I've had to learn the hard way. So that's all I have today. I apologize for my delay in getting this video out to you. I'm looking to get the next video out to you in, say, 2 to 3 days. If you found this video interesting or useful, please smash that like button. Please consider subscribing. I think we're up to about 550, 560 subscribers. We're moving on up. Want to get this information out to as many eBay sellers as I can. If someone can learn from my experiences or just be a better eBay salesperson just because of the information that I'm passing on, then for me, this time was well spent. So I want you all to have a great rest of your week and have a lot of sales. And with that, I'm signing off.